Hello everyone, Athena Artiste here with my Chapter 2 of Banished, running with Colonial Charter, version 1.6, in an Adam and Eve start under harsh conditions. One change I have made in my setup, it's a slight one, is reading over on the forums, it was suggested that I make sure the no smoke filter is loaded before the actual mod for 1.6 so as to ensure I do eliminate all smoke from buildings. I am doing that primarily for a performance enhancement because after all, this is an older laptop I'm using, as some people may have guessed. It's about a 3-4 year old laptop. And it doesn't have the best, compared to what you could get today, performance and all that. Well, that's enough said on that topic. So I need to just tweak these around so as to optimize things a bit better. Now, in this chapter, we are going to be focusing in on health matters. We have our 2 children here. And when they grow up, I want them, first of all, because they're only eating fish at this point, their health is going to really drop very quickly, which will mean that not only a high risk of sicknesses, but definitely my women will start dying more often in childbirth, which again is a situation I want to avoid. So I need an herbalist or someone to dispense medicines to them as quickly as possible. And I do feel that that takes precedence even over getting clothing on board, which is the next item. But first I'm going to build, because I need to know what I have in inventory, I'm going to build this new item which is called the Town Arrival, which is sort of a scaled down city hall, if you will. It does not attract nomads, but it is going to give me my inventory of what is available everywhere in my town, which is vital, especially as I am. We're dealing with a small number of people, so as to keep switching people back and forth between jobs. Speaking of which, let's look at we have no firewood at all, but just a little bit of reeds. So let's swap them over and put them back onto making those reeds, whichever ones they have. I'm going to kind of stagger this a bit so I can swap back and forth between them easily. I usually do keep everything kind of stacked over there that I'm working on, and keeping the majority of this space free for my work area. Now, I want to get started. Now, we were talking about herbs. In the dock setup, we have these new options for an herb grower as well as an herb mender. Now I could use these just as I am with my combination of dock workshop and reed farm, because the professions for these are both apothecary. So swapping them back and forth between those 2 buildings when I have so few people is entirely feasible. But seeing as I have this lovely wooded area up here, which, as you've noticed, I have not touched yet at all, I am going to build my traditional herbalist hut, or whatever you want to call it, because I think that they still do get more herbs that way, and plus I've only got 1 person then tied up in that role, rather than having to swap around and so forth with 2 different ones. So now I always start, because this is going to be my first forest production area, as I call them. with my forester and my gatherer and so forth. So I always start by placing my gatherer's hut, because I want the gatherer to have the absolute maximum radius to be all where the woods are going to be. And yes, as I said before, I will have to fill in that lake over there to the left. Let's put it, I want it up above where my town is, but as much, I can get almost all of it there in that wooded area. So there we have our gatherer's hut. And I am going to actually turn the game on, because I have to let those kids grow up, and they might as well be doing that while I'm up here. And oh, they're out. Pause it again. You didn't make any? I guess 30 were enough. Okay, well, let's swap you back over to the reed farm then, and put you back to work over there. Thought that was enough to get me at least a couple fire bundles. Apparently not. So let's put in our herbalist, and I like to put the herbalist directly across the street. I might turn around here, and yes, I zoom in because it is so much fun seeing these little green and red squares here to place everything, especially against the snowy ground. There we go. Now that is going to be my first workplace up here that will be built, but I don't have everything else in place. So let's put in, we're going to need a storage shed, and I will use the traditional. I'm going to put it next to my herbalist. I usually lay it in here so it runs this way. Put in my storage barn. That is also going to be built very quickly, hopefully. And I need to put in a well. I know I'm harping on this subject a lot, but I'll tell you, having watched my town burn to the ground because either they couldn't get to water, or for some reason they're all glitching and they just stand around and watch everything burn, it's very, very discouraging. So I'm going to put in 2 of the dock homes. I'm gonna make sure I've got, gotta bring it out here so I can tell where's the front of it. Okay, there's the front, so I need to turn it this way. Now I need to slide this in right next to where that well is, and then flip it around and put the other one on the back side. That one will wait a while. This will actually be one of my first things I build. Now, I want to put in a tiny, tiny little stockpile. I want to put it in here right next to, I gotta find, like I said, kind of hard to see things in here with all this wood. There's my well. I could just see a little bit of the stone there. So I want it to be tucked up right next to the back of that gatherer's hut and the well. And it's just going to be 2 wide by 4. Just enough so that they don't have to walk all the way back out. And I don't want to wrap it. I don't like running it right over my well area, because that has actually a stone little apron to it. And the stone, of course, It's already there. It's built in. They will move faster on the stone apron, so I rather take advantage of it. And there she is. She is now grown up. So we're going to take, well actually let's move back down here. What I want her to do, let's start cutting our resources. Let's do that first. So we're going to need a lot of wood and a little bit of stone. So if I could set her to work on doing those things. The other thing I'm going to do is set up, the other thing, notice I have my radiuses here for things. I like to mark where especially where the end of my radius is, so I know when I'm doing further construction. And I usually use just a small little stockpile. I put it in. That's just so I know that that is the border of my radius for my gatherer and so forth. And I will put a rush on that so that they can make use of it. Let's see, we've got 41 logs. We've got 2 stones. So we're going to need, let's see, 38 wood. 48, well, let's call this 50, and that's 40, so that's 90. 120 at the minimum wood. And stone, we're going to need 12 and 16. Well, we'll just call it 30. So our targets for resources are 120 logs and 30 stone. And my town arrival, where's my town arrival? Well, I'm not going to build that, so I can shut that off for now. Okay, they've already put the wood there for that. Let's actually get her to, or whoever it is that's our person here, let's get them to build that so I can show you what that's looking at while they're going on to gather resources. Now I'm taking them right off of being builder, because otherwise they're going to go run and build my roads, and I don't want them to do that. As you can see, it's all the information we usually have in our town hall, but this will not encourage nomads. Most important to me is this inventory list, so I know what I have available to me. And I usually keep this rolled up and tucked right in there. So the other thing, well, she's still gathering her resources. We're up to 60 logs. Like I said, with one person doing everything, it takes a very long time to do everything. I'm going to put in, this is another new thing we have here in 1.6. These are pots and planters, which I absolutely, I saw this, wow. I don't know how many times I have put in decorative bushes or trees and things, and then at some later point in the game, I forget that they're supposed to be decorative. I'm there and why can't I cut this stupid tree down? So now I know, okay, everything like that is going to be in a pot, so I can remember when I look at it, well, if it's in a pot, it's meant to be decorative. So, now, how are we doing? Well, we've almost got enough wood. Not too much stone yet, but we're getting there. So like I said, it's a lot of waiting around. There's one person doing everything. And how are we doing? Oh, we've got lots and lots of reeds now. So let's put you back to work to making some fire bundles. We're not doing too bad with our tools. Now in my next chapter, I will be building the... I've decided I actually will build both before I set up my first school. I'm going to build one duck blind, or hunter's blind. In fact, I'll site it right now. But I'm not going to have them build it, obviously, for a long time. Might as well do something while I'm waiting. So let me... That's going to go right in here. And they need a storage place. I'm going to give them a little... And that has a road attached to it, so I could tuck it right up beside it. That will be one item. And I'll finish setting up the middle area later on. Okay, now it looks like you've got enough wood cut, finally. So, hold on while I pause my game. I want to cancel my removal of everything. I don't need them cutting any more wood. Okay. And let's just get them to getting stone. By the time this one little person here has finally gathered all the resources I need, that other Shedrick, I think his name is? Yeah, he's almost an adult already. So he's going to be grown up, so I'll actually have 2 people available to help me get everything built. So that part should go a lot faster, crossing fingers. Oh, and I had a 3rd child, who's another boy. So, again, I will get into what's going to be going on with him in chapter 3. And please don't ask me to keep pronouncing names for people. I am very, very bad at pronouncing names. Did I change my road type? I can't remember. I thought I was using the same one, but maybe I did change it. Well, if it keeps looking funny like that, I'll have to fix it, because that's going to bother me. Call me compulsive and obsessive and stuff. Okay, we are up to 10. Come on, keep getting us some stone. Well, while you're working on that, let's go up here and do some more layout up here. I do need to take some of this road out. When you're finally gonna... I will let you build roads. I don't want you to build quite that much. But I do need it... Because I always work in what I call like a crossroads kind of arrangement. So I like to have one road going this way, and another there. Now, how are we doing? We're up to 18. Finally getting some firewood. We're down to our 2 last. They're probably hide coats. But, like I said, as of right now, I don't have any means of gathering anything like leather or feathers to make clothing. So we're going to put our forester, and I love this new one that was introduced in 1.5, the look of it. I am going to put that directly opposite on this side of my gatherer's hut, so that the circles for those will sort of be overlapping. Oh, we have enough stone. So, let's pause our game. And before I leave here, let me set up another camera view there so I can jump back up there quickly. Now, let's cancel our removal of everything, so we don't have them doing any of that anymore. So now I want them to start. We'll start with these two. Come up here. Get them started prepping those sites for my buildings. Like I said, I still only have my one person. Cedric hasn't apparently become an adult yet. Go back to doing some more layout while I'm waiting. Now I want to put another well in. Yes, I know people might say I'm excessive on well usage, but I like my wells. So, there's another well, and we're going to put another small little stockpile just north of that. And this is where our hunter's lodge, or whatever, cabin, whatever you want to call it. And yes, we have a new style of one here. I don't know if you can see it very well just yet. In 1.6, which really I think looks fabulous. And we're going to tuck that in on the top side. I'll put it one off there. And that's going to wait until chapter 3 to be built. Okay, so they're almost done. And you're out of reeds again. Let's get you to make a few more tools while you're still there in the workshop. Okay. We have our barn foundation laid. So how are we doing on our dock home? We did get that stockpile finished. Again, still only one person doing all this work. So everything just takes a very long time. Okay, there's Cedric. He's now an adult. So hopefully I will be able to get these 3 buildings, my home, of course, and my storage barn. Let's click you both over. No, not just yet. Wait until the wood is there. We're going to put them both onto being builders and get this done very, very quickly, we hope. Well, it looks like you want to build the barn first. And I thought I had you building the home first. Well, that's alright. I am going to take this just in case my other 2 adults run out of things to do. They can come up there and start clearing that building area for me. Okay, there's the barns done. soon as they are done building the home, I am going to take them off of being builders and back to laborers again. That's so as to prevent them from building roads. I don't really want to take them out now that I've laid them down. But I don't want them building roads. Rather, I want them building buildings. But you'll notice how much their health has dropped here. And that is because, like I said, they're just eating fish. So as soon as I get the herbalists going, they'll be able to get their potions and then whatever you want to call it, things, so they'll start feeling better. There we go. Move into the house. And now let's get you started on building. I have to clear the area. There's a lot of nice iron ore there. Now we're up to 68. So let's put you back onto Reed Farm again. And when I put you back over here, I want you making fire bundles. Still no feathers of any sort, obviously, or leather of any sort. So I still can't have them. It's the only thing they can make are my survival colts. But can't do that. No feathers. So they're bringing up my resources for the herbalists. And once they get that built in situation, I'm going to end this chapter. I was going to aim for just 20 minutes, but this one I think is going to run a little bit longer because it just takes so long with one person doing the bulk of the work. Okay. Last little bit of stone. There we go. Put them both onto being builders again. When they are done with building that, obviously one of them is going to go right to work as the herbalist. The other one I will keep as a free laborer, because again, I don't want them, well, I suppose I could let them build the roads, but I'm not going to just yet. I want them to start collecting my resources, that free laborer. And we have a child over here now. Yes, we do. Wonderful. There we go. These are both coming off builders. One is going on herbalists. And I'm actually increasing that amount up to 1,000. Because, well, with them having this wonderful wooded area to them, they're going to be... It'll take them a while to get up to that amount, but I can use that actually as a low value. I think they're worth like 4 trade units. Eventually that can be used as a low value trade item. That is, when I get to be trading, because right now we're at year 5. If I'm lucky, I will be able to start trading by year 30. It's going to take me that long just to have a stable enough population to be doing everything, so that, and I have enough, obviously, things to available as trade goods, so as to start trading. But that is going to be the end of this chapter. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you are enjoying this.